Hello, and welcome to another training video on Symmetry CRM. Today's video, we're looking at the quickest and easiest way to lodge a deal straight through electronic lodgement using the Symmetry CRM platform. Now, we'll be looking at how you can quickly determine a quick serviceability, save it as an account, go through the customer and loan sections, and looking at lodging the deal online. Now, if you're a broker, you should always start in the Tools Quick Serviceability section. What this allows you to do is just do a quick servicing test against the lender's calculators to find out if this client or clients can service the loan that they're after. We can choose between new individual or company as a quick serviceability test, and the only mandatory fields that you need to fill in are the first name and surname fields. So here's a client, save and close, and it creates our first applicant. To add more applicants, all you need to do is click on the Add button in the top left-hand corner, and again, we'll give you the option of creating a person or company to add to the system. Once you've got your second applicant, the recommended advice would be to make sure if they are partners or married, to make sure that you do link them together as spouses in this field, so serviceability treats them as a couple, not two individuals. From there, we can just click to add in new income. Just as a quick note, make sure that if you're not aware that base income represents PAYG employees or people who get a salary or wage versus current net profit, which is for self-employed people or people who own their own business. Just to keep the scenario simple, let's just assume that both these clients are PAYG with some incomes. We've got proposed rental income, which also represents existing rental income as well. Liabilities, so the liabilities section is split into two between liabilities and mortgages. Okay, so pretty much it's a mortgage in this section. Anything else would go into the liability section. We can add in a credit card, so it only wants to know the limit. And because serviceability is done on the household, if they share the credit card, you can give it to one of the applicants. If they have their own credit cards, then you can each give them their own credit card limit. Same deal with dependents. If they only have one child in the household, make sure you only give it to one of them. Doesn't matter who you give it to, just make sure that you put in a first name and last name. Okay, and it does require a date of birth instead of the age of the dependent. Now, even though this might be annoying on your first attempt, this is handy because once you get the date of birth for the child or the dependent, that information will always update automatically whenever you do a new loan for the clients and the age of the dependent. Now, before we put in any more information, okay, we've got the loan amount and security amount on the bottom section of the page. Now, the loan amount includes any refinanced debts or debt consolidation within the loan. So if these particular clients, for example, had a $250,000 mortgage and would like to refinance and borrow some extra money, let's say up to $300,000. Now, if that's the case, I do not put in the existing debt or the existing mortgage because it is being refinanced or being cleared with the mortgage that we're going for. If I put in both the loan amount and the mortgage, it will double up the debt. So loan amount, security amount, and once I've got those two figures, I can click on Get Result if the loan term is not 30. And it will give you a list of all the lenders and the borrowing capacities with each lender. Now, like many lists in Symmetry, you can control the list by clicking on the headings. One click will show you from smallest to biggest in terms of borrowing capacity. Otherwise, if I click again, it will show you from biggest to smallest. In line with each bank, there are 4 icons. The first icon, the calculator button, allows the user to control the rate or the assessment rate. So this could be done if you know that you're going for a particular product or Pro Pack, which gives an automatic discount. You can change the qualifying rate, press calculate, and see the difference in terms of borrowing capacity. Serviceability result view and serviceability worksheet view. These basically just give the user how the bank came up with that particular information in terms of their results and the tests that they use. Now, any of these serviceability results or serviceability worksheet views can be PDF'd, printed, emailed, or saved to a briefcase. Keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen, if you don't know about the briefcase, take a look at the documents and briefcase video to understand briefcase in further detail. The last icon, okay, what you'll find is that some lenders have this icon and some lenders don't. How you can determine it is if the lender does have an Excel-based serviceability calculator, all you need to do is just click on the icon here where it says download. It will then give you the option if you'd like to open or save that document. If you open it up, it will automatically open up in Excel where you can enable editing and content and open up the lender's calculator. Now that's in Excel, so that can be saved as a normal Excel calculator. Obviously, it'd be best to fill it all in first before saving. Now, once you've got those results, if you and the client are happy, you can then click on Save as Account, and that will automatically create an account with the two clients' names, their profiles, and what is called a lead scenario. Now, lead scenario, for lack of a better word, is where you can play around with the client's scenario or transaction, what they're looking at doing. They might want to borrow more money or less money. So figures can be changed around quite easily. Product comparisons can be produced from this particular section. And the benefit of starting from lead scenarios is it will then allow the user further on down the track to do reports on their conversion ratios and also their referrers' conversion ratios. Now, as you can see from the top, it is advised to make sure you start filling in all the customer information from here on in, starting from top to bottom, left to right. So you can start filling in the first applicant's details in terms of their name, contact details, ID details, address. Okay, and this section has been updated, which now links with RP Data reports. So if you are an existing RP Data customer, you can click on this link, sign in, and you will then be able to access your property, suburb, and valuation reports. You can use this address search field to have it verified by RP Data. Otherwise, you can fill in the address straight in yourself into these fields. So you have the option, avenue or street or whatever it may be. Because it has to be a real address because they're living there, you can put it in straight into this system here. Click on it, select it, and it will populate the information for you. Once you've got the address in there, you can then start filling in information such as ownership. Okay, and if it's an existing mortgage, it's either owned or jointly owned. When you're putting in dates, you can select it, or if you're keying in the date yourself, make sure you put in the full year. So in this example, 09/09/2010. Once you put that information in, okay, income and expenses you can enter, and that is brought across from the serviceability page. So you can just put in employment and expenses. Expenses also work like liabilities, so you can either add the total living expenses against one of the applicants, or you can split up living expenses individually between the two applicants. Assets and liabilities, okay, again, you can share them if they do share all assets and liabilities. Again, you can add all the assets and liabilities against one customer. If they don't, make sure you add the assets individually, and the only asset you create once is the real estate asset or security property. Okay, in which case you can either give it to the first or second applicant, it doesn't matter, but just so it doesn't repeat itself in electronic lodgement, just only give it to one of them. Finally, custom fields, you'll find here they're extra fields that help you segment your database and produce reports on those particular fields. So that's the customer information that needs to be filled in before you move on to the lead scenario. Now, the lead scenario, there's fewer tabs. A lot of the tabs have already been done in terms of serviceability, so that's already been done. We've got the product finder, which allows the user to put together a product comparison. Now, to put together a product comparison very easily, you can just select what type of lender and product. If you're looking for ProPack products, just click Advanced and tick ProPack. Press search and you'll get a list of all the lenders and products that you're looking for. If you then want to do a product comparison, just hit the plus symbol in line with each product. If you've got your 3 lenders, you can then press Compare Products in the bottom right-hand corner and stack them side by side. It is then recommended to make sure you press Save Comparison to lock those lenders and products in. And if you would like to generate it into a document, just press the Preview Document button, and again, you can PDF, print, email, or save to briefcase. Now, the other tab you need to be aware of is the Funding tab, where you can start to do a Funds to Complete report, find out any other information like stamp duty if you're doing a purchase property, and LMI information. Once that's done, you can then click on the heading of Lead Scenarios, where you can generate your compliance documents, but you want to convert it over from a lead to a loan. And this is a big step a lot of people forget about. So you don't want to have to re-enter the information in your lead into your loan again. It will bring it over. Now, because I saved my comparison, rather than trying to find the lender and product that I compared with, I can just select the lender and product from my product comparison list and choose whichever lender was acceptable or chosen by the client. Once you've converted the lead to a loan, there's only a few fields that need to be filled out in order to allow for electronic lodgement. First and foremost, you do need to tick off that you have done your responsible lending documents. The next part, you do actually need to go into the loan facility. Now you can click on the pencil or you can double click on the profile or record to go into it and make sure you add in a loan purpose. So we can go in, click on owner occupied, select the Australian Bureau of Statistics reason why they're getting a loan, and make sure that the amount lines up with that product. If you're happy with that, press save, save and close, and you've now filled in the loan purpose for that particular facility. Now, the last thing you need to do before going into electronic lodgement is attaching what's called a workflow template. So in the workflow tab, what you'll find is when clicking on the drop-down list, you'll have a few options available to you in order to select and use to help track your loan from lodgement to settlement. So I can just select this particular example here, click on the tick button, which will then apply that template. And you'll see the system now has automatically filled in certain statuses and timeframes around those statuses, which will help the user track the loan from lodgement. Once you've attached that loan workflow template, you'll see that the blue E is now activated, which will allow you to access the Apply Online program from NextGen. So I click on that blue E. It will now allow me to submit the information from Symmetry to Apply Online. And then once it's finished doing that, it will then give me the option to then open it in Apply Online. It will then finish here and give you the option of pressing View Submitted Loan. I click on that and it will open up a new tab or window, and it should populate information from Symmetry CRM into the electronic application to the bank. Now from here, ladies and gentlemen, you do need to get rid of the red crosses so that you can lodge the deal electronically to the bank. Keep in mind, some lenders now do have the Supporting Docs tab, which will allow you to electronically attach your supporting documents to the electronic submission. but keep in mind that is only for lenders who have the supporting docs tab. Once you get rid of all the red crosses, you can press the submit button to lodge the deal to the bank. Wait for their response for the lender reference number so you can then attach that to your supporting documents. Now from there, depending on the lender's process, if they want you to lodge, fax, or attach supporting documents electronically, then you follow that process. I hope you've enjoyed the video today, and please stay on the lookout for more training videos from Stargate.